In a development described as historic, senior sources have confirmed that President Cyril Ramaphosa's ability to travel abroad has been drastically curtailed. Official spokespersons have remained unusually guarded, and the presidency is scrambling to contain the fallout from the leak. Yet diplomatic communications reveal that several foreign agencies have begun working together on legal concerns connected to Ramaphosa. These concerns reportedly involve potential money laundering, constitutional violations, and misuse of presidential authority. The situation intensified after a wave of whistleblower revelations and leaked reports appeared to link the president to hidden offshore dealings and undisclosed assets. As a result, international law enforcement agencies, particularly those from nations with mutual legal assistance treaties with South Africa, have taken a keen interest, effectively imposing restrictions on his international movements. What began as a domestic political issue has now escalated into a sweeping international investigation. Although the exact details of these cases remain classified under the veil of diplomatic confidentiality, there are credible indications that no fewer than 3 international legal organizations are preparing coordinated actions. Others are quietly monitoring developments. This marks a shocking reversal for Ramaphosa, once hailed as a reformist president who rose out of the corruption-stained era of Jacob Zuma. Now, he faces the very nightmare he had vowed to eliminate. What first emerged as a foreign currency scandal linked to questionable dealings at his game farm has grown into a global legal puzzle, with multiple nations investigating possible violations of international financial law and presidential overreach. News of his restricted mobility has shaken the ANC headquarters at Luthuli House, where party leaders already battered by factional infighting and rising public doubt must grapple with the embarrassment of a looming international scandal. Reactions within the ANC have been split. While some members scramble to defend Ramaphosa, others view the crisis as a political opportunity to demand his resignation, an act that could reshape South African politics for decades. Insiders admit that the writing is on the wall and have begun to quietly prepare for a future beyond Ramaphosa. These revelations have deepened existing divisions within the party, creating what many describe as a political time bomb that could detonate during upcoming policy conferences or spill into national elections. Though the charges remain sealed, sources claim they may include illicit transfer of funds, hidden foreign currency reserves, and personal enrichment through the misuse of presidential office. Concerns once dismissed by state-friendly media outlets have now entered the radar of global legal systems, particularly in countries with strict anti-corruption and financial transparency laws. Intensifying the speculation are confidential diplomatic talks hinting at the possibility of international arrest warrants. While no formal confirmation has been issued, even the suggestion of such actions raises the chilling prospect of a sitting head of state facing charges abroad while shielded at home by executive privilege. Opposition leaders have seized the moment, with figures such as Gayton McKenzie, John Steenhuisen, and Julius Malema openly demanding Ramaphosa's resignation or a formal investigation. Parliament, too, is preparing for one of the most heated sessions in years. Discussions of impeachment are gaining traction, while others push for a special tribunal to examine the president's foreign entanglements. Though Ramaphosa still retains some goodwill within his party, the pressure is mounting from all directions, political, legal, and public. With international sanctions already weighing heavily, the president's future remains suspended in uncertainty. Will he fight to retain power and clear his name, or be forced to step down under mounting internal and external pressure? And beyond him, can the ANC weather another leadership crisis, and can South Africa restore faith in its democratic institutions before irreversible damage is done? These are questions with no clear answers. One certainty, however, is that this storm is no longer only about Cyril Ramaphosa. It is about the conscience of a nation and whether justice can finally rise above partisan politics. The sheer rarity of a sitting head of state facing international travel restrictions underscores the gravity of the moment. Such measures are typically reserved for those already indicted or convicted, not for leaders still holding office. That diplomatic circles are even considering warrants reveals the depth of suspicion surrounding him. Public opinion is shifting rapidly. For many South Africans, the unfolding saga feels like a grim return to the Zuma years, when corruption scandals paralyzed governance and eroded institutions. Civil society groups, faith-based organizations, and trade unions are demanding that Parliament prioritize national interests over party loyalty. International watchdogs warn of devastating consequences for South Africa's global reputation should these allegations be brushed aside. The ANC, meanwhile, is cornered. Defending Ramaphosa risks accusations of complicity in corruption, while turning against him could ignite destructive factional warfare. Either path threatens the party's legitimacy, already under its greatest strain since 1994. Young voters, disillusioned by years of unfulfilled promises, may desert the ANC in record numbers, paving the way for a united and emboldened opposition in the next election. Meanwhile, the presidency has adopted a defensive posture, issuing denials without providing meaningful transparency. Each unanswered question and evasive statement only fuels public suspicion. As more leaks seep into the press, emails, bank records, confidential memos, the portrait of a leader entangled in financial misconduct grows harder to dismiss. The coming weeks are likely to be decisive. Parliamentary debates may trigger impeachment proceedings. International bodies could reveal parts of their investigations. Behind closed doors, the ANC may decide whether to keep Ramaphosa in office or quietly replace him to protect the party's future. The stakes are enormous. South Africa cannot afford yet another lost decade consumed by corruption scandals. With the economy fragile, unemployment soaring, service delivery collapsing, and daily life burdened by blackouts and rising costs, the image of a president distrusted abroad feels like a betrayal too great for ordinary citizens to bear. For those still following this story, the urgency cannot be overstated. This is not a time for passive observation but for active engagement, staying informed, demanding accountability, and standing up for a better future. History is being written in real time. South Africa now faces a defining choice: will it cling to leaders who betray their oaths, or finally embrace the path of accountability?